Does that sound reasonable? Well, if you say no, then you'd be in the majority. It doesn't sound reasonable. And the proof.
When there's water where there shouldn't be, call me, Hydro Man. Say it, ready?
I did.
Well, a little bit louder. Okay, ready?
Heartland
Restoration is a family-owned and operated company.
All right, well, welcome to the big show. Here's the thing. So last time we were talking about, and it's raining, so I don't know how much you're going to be able to hear my road noise, but last time we were talking about whether or not your whole floor, your wood floor, can match. So the short answer is no. It's not gonna match, and there's a couple of reasons why. I want to point them out. Number one, and least thought of reason why it's not going to match is because wood and the color of wood actually ages. When the sun beats on it and it gets older and things like that, it actually darkens due to age. All wood does this, even if you don't stain it, but more so even if you do stain it. And that can be slowed up a little bit with like a poly coat, but it's going to age. And so what that basically means is that the dyes in the stain or the colors in the paint, whatever, are going to change. You can't match it anymore. It's impossible. Now, there are really good, like, carpenters out there who can try and mix to that point, but insurance ain't gonna pay for that. And that's the funny thing about insurance, is they say they'll pay to put it back, but then usually there's a compromise on the way to doing it. And that's why we preach so hard that you have to really know how insurance works. And most consumers don't know how it works. They haven't read the policies, and as a result, they are subject to whatever the adjuster says, be it right, wrong, or indifferent. So, the second reason it doesn't match is because picking the right stain from one can to another is like just about impossible, especially if it's years later, so almost impossible. But the bigger and I think more important question to be answered, the more interesting question to actually answer, is this one. What do I do if it doesn't match? This is important because from your perspective, you didn't do anything wrong. It was sudden, it was accidental, water damaged your property. Hey, this company, let's just kind of like depersonalize a little bit. This company, for profit, decided to insure my stuff and say that they would put it back into pre-loss condition. They're going to indemnify me, which means hold harmless. Look that word up. It'll really help you. They're gonna hold me harmless as it relates to my property. They decided to get into that business, and my property was damaged. And then now some yokel wants to put it in there one piece at a time and put the problem on me as the fact that it doesn't even match. Does that sound reasonable? Well, if you say no, then you'd be in the majority. It doesn't sound reasonable, and the pathway through it is a careful one. It's not something I can easily say because there's a process to it and it takes time. But the bottom line is you're under no obligation, absolutely zero obligation to accept imperfection as it relates to putting your property back to pre-loss condition. The pathway to getting it is working with somebody who knows how to. And I'm not saying some special secret sauce. Well, it is kind of a secret. It's a secret in that it requires experience to know what it is. And me just saying it doesn't make you know how to do it. It also doesn't mean that you're going to have the confidence to do it. So those are some limitations I think most people are going to have regardless. My suggestion is, very first step is you got to read your contract. If you don't understand it, then call me. I'll help you. I'll help you understand it, and then we can go from there. Now, and I say that, I have to say this. Let me be really clear. Kansas, in the state of Kansas, there is no, you're not allowed to have a public adjuster for residential claims. Really strange. It's a really strange provision on the law, which means no person is allowed to tell you what is covered in an official capacity, which means like an adjuster, that what they call it is adjusting a claim. So I can't adjust a claim. That means I have no legal footing to say this is covered or this is not covered. What I can do is the same thing I'm teaching my customers how to do. Read the words. left or right, top to bottom. Use logic. And I've got a lot of experience with that. And so all of our customers, all of our customers who want their entire floor replaced, get their entire floor replaced. Hey, make it a great day.